Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, Comments and Answers TJ. I hope you are all doing well. In this new video, we are going to prepare for the section, Let's Be Better Teachers, for the week of September 1st to 7th. I hope this will be of great help to many of you. Let's get started. Alright, let's begin with Start conversations. Informal preaching. Invite the person to the upcoming special talk. Good morning, how are you? I see you're enjoying a bit of sunshine. Yes, it's about time we had a day like this to disconnect a little. Exactly. Sometimes those little moments help clear our minds, don't you think? Yes, totally. Speaking of that, I wanted to share an invitation with you. Did you know that next week we'll have a special talk all about how to find real peace and security despite everything going on? Really? What's that about? It's a public program at the Kingdom Hall, and you can also listen online. Nowadays, there's a lot of talk about peace, but it seems harder and harder to find. This talk will explain, based on the Bible, practical steps we can take to feel inner peace, even while the world is full of problems. Interesting, and anyone can attend? Of course. It's completely free, and no collections are taken. Look, here's the invitation with the date and time. Hands over the invitation. Thank you. Honestly, we all need a little peace, don't we? What do you think? Do you believe it's possible to find it nowadays, even with everything going on? Sometimes I find it hard to believe, but I think it's possible. Exactly, and that's what's nice about this talk. It shows that true peace doesn't depend so much on what happens in the world, but on what each of us learns and applies. If you'd like, we can share a little summary afterward and hear what you think. That sounds good. Perfect. I'm glad you're interested. Enjoy your day. Now let's move on to Start conversations. House to House. Start a conversation with the Watchtower issue number 1, 2025. Then, when the person expresses interest in another topic, talk about what interests them. Kindly, good morning. I'm just stopping by to share this magazine that talks about how to find some peace in the middle of all the busyness. It's the new issue of the Watchtower. Oh really? What's in it? Well, this edition raises an interesting question. Is it possible to live with less stress and anxiety? Something many of us worry about today. What do you think? Do you believe that's possible? Honestly, I find it hard. Lately work has been overwhelming, and I barely have time for myself. Empathetically, I see, that must be exhausting. Has it been like that for a while or just recently? For a few months now. Management changed, and now it's more pressure, more hours, and of course, there's also things to do at home, so it all piles up. That must be a heavy burden. And what do you do to try to relax a bit? I try to go for a walk, watch something on TV, but it never feels like enough. There's always something pending. Listening attentively, nodding, yes, it's complicated. This magazine shares some Bible-based ideas that have helped many people find rest, not just physically, but mentally as well. It talks, for example, about an invitation Jesus made for people to find relief in times of pressure. And what's that about? Basically, it's about leaning on principles that help organize life and remove unnecessary burdens. But look, since you mentioned work and lack of time, here's an article that touches exactly on that: how the Bible can help us manage daily anxiety. Yes, that's something I'd be interested in, because I feel like this is even affecting my sleep. I can imagine. And how does it affect you more, the lack of sleep or the constant thinking about everything pending? Both. My mind just doesn't stop. I understand. Look, I'll leave you this magazine to read when you have a quiet moment. If you'd like, next time I stop by we can go over that article together and see what practical advice it gives. No obligation. That sounds good, thank you. Sometimes you just need to hear something different from all the news. Exactly, something that truly gives calm, not just more worries. I'm glad you see it that way. Have a good day, and I hope you find a little time to rest this week. Now let's move on to start conversations. Informal preaching. Offer the Watchtower issue number 1, 2025 to a person who is worried about wars. With a calm voice and a sincere smile, hello. It's been a while since I last saw you around here. How have you been? Hi, well, honestly, a bit uneasy. I was just watching the news and it seems to get worse every day. Yes, I understand. With so much going on lately, anyone would be worried. May I ask, what worries you the most? Mostly the wars. It feels like every week a new conflict breaks out, and you never know what might happen. That's true, and it's not just the big conflicts, but also the insecurity they create worldwide. Are you more afraid of what could happen here or more of what's happening in other countries? Both, but mainly because you think about family. I have kids and I worry what kind of world they'll have to live in. Of course, that's very understandable. We all want them to live in peace, but it seems that peace is getting farther away, doesn't it? Exactly. Before, you thought those things happened far away, but now there doesn't seem to be any safe place left. I imagine that must be very distressing. Does it even affect your sleep or peace at home? Yes, sometimes I stay awake at night thinking, and you just don't know what to do. After all, what can an ordinary person do with so many problems? You're right, there's very little we can change on our own. Actually, I was just reading this latest Watchtower magazine, and I thought you might find it interesting. It talks about why there are so many wars and, most importantly, if there's any real hope that they will end. Do you think that could ever be possible? Honestly, I doubt it. There are always interests, money involved. It seems like it will never stop. I understand. Many people feel the same way. This magazine doesn't give political or human solutions, rather it's based on what the Bible promises. And something that caught my attention is that it explains that God Himself promises to end all wars. In fact, it quotes a prophecy that says people will turn their weapons into tools for working the land. Yes, I think I've heard that somewhere, maybe at church. Yes, it's from the Bible, in Isaiah 2:4. What's interesting is that it doesn't just talk about future peace, but a lasting peace that doesn't depend on treaties or armies. Would you like to read a bit more about that? Yes, because nowadays you don't even know what to believe. Showing the magazine, here it is. It's issue number 1 of 2025. It has an article titled, "Will There Ever Be True Peace?" I like it because it doesn't just ask the question, but it shows what God promises to do and how that can give us inner peace right now, even with such bad news. That would be good. Sometimes you need to hear something that gives you hope. Exactly. And if you want, you can read it with no obligation. Next time we meet, we can talk about what caught your attention the most, or even what you didn't agree with. That sounds very good, thank you. Thank you for sharing how you feel. Not everyone does. I hope this week you can feel a bit more at ease. Well, these were the examples of the presentations for the Let's Be Better Teachers section this week. I hope this is very helpful for you, my dear brothers and sisters. I'm sending you a big hug, and may Jehovah bless and protect you always.